So, pretty much every problem we face, whether we're talking about climate collapse or genocide or domestic violence or road rage, all of it is the result of human action. And human action is always driven by emotion. So, beneath all of the world's seemingly different problems is the same underlying issue: human beings acting out of fear, greed, and a sense of division. Now, these aren't just some isolated feelings that a few people have occasionally. They are carried and acted on by billions of people, which creates an emotional climate saturated with fear, greed, and division. And when those emotions become the climate we live in, they shape the choices we make, individually and collectively. Now, over time, those choices shape the social landscape: what is normalized, what is expected, what's rewarded, tolerated, and what is allowed. We all know that people with enormous wealth or power, platforms, and institutional control also shape this climate deliberately in service of their own interests. They decide what they want people to fear, to desire, to distrust, tolerate, or accept. And then they build the messaging, incentives, and systems that make those things feel normal. They can make fear look like strength, greed look like success, and division look like loyalty. And all the influences we're talking about do not stop with messaging or culture. They become embedded in the structures that govern our world. The systems that govern our world: political, cultural, economic, legal, there's a lot of them. They're shaped and sustained by how people behave, what we accept, and where we remain silent. Those systems then turn those same patterns into laws, policies, incentives, institutions, and cultural messages that reinforce them back to us. This creates a cycle. People shape systems, systems shape people. And together, they are continually recreating this emotional climate that we live in. And that emotional climate does more than just influence how we behave. It permits and multiplies harm. It empowers bad actors. It numbs us to the suffering of others. It weakens our resistance and it dulls our outrage. It divides us. It exhausts us. It keeps us overwhelmed, defensive, and in survival mode. It trains us to accept cruelty, corruption, and violence as inevitable. And it convinces us there's nothing we can do about it. The devastation we see in the news is not happening in a vacuum. It is happening in a world where hate speech, casual coercion, silent bystanding, and everyday acts of dehumanization are treated as ordinary. All of this, atrocities to the everyday, these are all different expressions of the same emotional climate. And each one reinforces the conditions that allows the others to continue. Underneath both our behavior and the systems we create are the beliefs we have absorbed about one another and about what is possible. Who deserves empathy and who doesn't? Whether connection is weakness, whether cruelty is necessary, whether some people are disposable, whether anything can really change. Now, most of these beliefs and the patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior that grow from them are learned and inherited. They are repeated so often that we don't even recognize them as patterns. They seem like just the way things are, but we carry them forward through the choices we make every day: what we encourage, what we excuse, what we ignore, and how we treat one another. We are choosing this, not always consciously, not because we mean to, but through inherited and conditioned patterns, we keep recreating the emotional climate we live in. Before anyone gets defensive, this is not about blame. It's about recognizing our power. Because if our choices are helping to create this world, then we can make different choices and help create another. The world changes when we do. Our evolution is the revolution.